A few years ago, I couldn't even grab a glass with my right hand, and this is coming from a guy that could close the Ivanko like master gripper 3 times with my fingertips, like not in the middle of my fingers, but my fingertips were its hardest, which not too many people could do. I read it was only like 5 or 6 back then. So I had an iron grip. My grip was like a vice, but eventually wear and tear took its toll, and I couldn't use my hand at all. So when I was visiting family in Europe, I'm not going to say where, I got some peptide injections, 2 different peptides while I was there. They were research and I signed an NDA, but you can look it up, do your research, look at ncbi.gov. You'll figure it out. And after that, I was able to grab a glass, but my hands were still like, my right hand was still very weak. Like I could lift, like, grab maybe 15 pounds with it. And when I was younger, I could grab the 110-pound barbells and do curls. So, like 15 pounds, like I was almost at 10% strength, and it hurt to grab 15 pounds, by the way. So, what I did a multitude of things because no single thing worked by itself. One of the things I did that helped is I used this percussion massager and just dug into all these muscles all up and down my arm, all the way from elbow to hand. And that loosened it up a lot. Then I looked up that helped that loosened it up a lot, but I was still weak. Then I looked up hand exercises, and I did all the normal ones. Actually, you can just do your own research, like ones like that. But I'll let you do your own research on the hand exercise movements. And when I was doing that the first time, a tendon right here just popped, like it was loud. It popped, and it felt like it popped back into place. And I did research and found that when you get hand damage, that actually can happen. Things become lax, and then your tendons move out of place in your hand, ligaments and tendons, and that helped a lot too. But I'm going to say this one more time, then you could just assume the statement continues as we go. My hand was still weak, so I I did after trying like 30 different hand exercises and getting a moderate amount of recovery, I hit another plateau where I wasn't healing anymore. And by the way, none of this is medical advice. None of it. Do your own research. Show this video to your doctor. This just will work for me. I actually started grabbing my hand and like digging in, like all the areas that it hurt, because it hurt right here really bad. It hurt right here. It hurt here, and it hurt here. I had 4 pain points. It was just a mess. And I started digging my finger in into like where it was hurting and just digging and pushing in really hard and kind of jiggling my hand and twisting to see if the bones would reset, which they did. They started popping loudly and I started feeling relief. The relief lasted, by the way. It stayed. It was permanent. And something I forgot to mention earlier is this little bone right here. This little bone right here that's between like these joints up here and then and here. This bone actually shifted upward so it was sitting right here. And it was like a centimeter out of place. And I just dug my finger in there and just pushed really hard until it went back in place before I got the injection in my wrist. I made sure to do that before I got the injection, just in theory, again, not medical advice, that if that's going to regrow the cartilage, you want to regrow in the right spot. And I was kind of rolling the dice with all this, but I had no use of my hand. So I was like, I'll roll dice. I need my hand back. And that worked a lot. And yet again, I hit another plateau. Now I've healed a lot. I can grab like 30 pounds in my hand now, which is a huge improvement from not being able to grab a glass of water. So I started experimenting again, and I started pushing like right here because I felt all this pain and pressure right here and here. It was really bad. And somebody, like, I shook hands with a bodybuilder and he shook too hard and it made my hands pop really bad. But then I felt relief. So that got me to thinking that he might have broken loose scar tissue. So I did research again, and again, it was a possibility that that happened. Not for sure. But anyway, just I was rolling the dice again, and I started pushing my hand like just on the fingers right here with my hand straight, like parallel to my wrist. And I started pushing it against the table from this side, like as hard as I can, like that. And with it pushing on the back side, not the front side, like pushing towards this side like this. And I had this huge pop and this burning feeling and this immense amount of relief in these 2 pain points right here, this one and this one. It was huge. And then yet again, my hand got stronger. Now, at this point, I hit a plateau again. I gave it a couple weeks and I wasn't healing anymore. And I remember I heard a theory, or I've heard bodybuilders talk about this before. And they say, like, when you got damaged, like tendons, that by making your muscles stronger, it can give them relief. Now, I haven't done the research to see if that was true, but I was like, right here is just really loose and weak. And if I get all of this, because there's so many connections to the hand and the forearm, if I get all this stronger, maybe it'll give this some relief where it can actually get a chance to heal. Because what I think it is that even the smallest action would restrain this. So I started doing different exercises with grippers. And before I get on the grippers, I also bought these, which do the reverse movement. That also helped a lot. It helped everything. It helped all three pain points. It helped the top, the middle, and the side. And when I was doing the grippers, I started off with these little grippers, and I moved up to like the 150 pound, which when I used to squeeze 375 like fairly easily, not fairly easily, but I'd say moderate difficulty. So 150 should be lightweight, but it's actually hard. But anyway, I worked my way up to the 150 pound grippers, and I just started, when I'm watching TV, I'll just grip them and hold for 10 seconds, release. Hold for 10 seconds, release. And I would do it like hundreds of times while I'm watching TV shows. Because I really just wanted this muscle to get stronger and give that right part of the wrist relief to heal. And it worked. It popped a couple more times. It gave me more relief. And right here on this right side where it was always loose, started just feeling better. And it was always popping throughout the day, and it stopped popping throughout the day. And it moved down to where I get like 1 or 2 pops a day instead of dozens. So huge improvement. And I didn't move from to higher weight than the 150 pound grippers because I could feel it straining the tissues. I didn't want to risk damaging my hand. So even though I have heavier grippers, I didn't want to grip them and hurt something. I just decided to keep doing those high reps with, while holding. And yet again, I hit a plateau. But at this point, I had, like I was probably up to 60% function from basically zero. And I started hanging up on the pull-up bar, and I started hanging up this way and this way. And that gave me, again, immense relief and more healing. Like, all these things just add up to huge improvements. And I did that for a few weeks, huge improvements, and then I stopped because at this point I'm spending lots of time on this, and I'm getting tired. And I hit a plateau again, and I'm still getting that like burning pain here and here, even though it's only like 30-40% of what it used to be. It's still there, still annoying. And so I did it. I got these little gel balls you squeeze, like grip training gel balls. And I was like, if I can grab at different angles, because I can feel the tension right here and here, like in my wrist. And I was like, if I could grab at different angles, maybe I can get some relief and break up that scar tissue. So I started gripping them like this, like that, like that, like that, just different angles. And then yet again, it caused this and this to pop and gave me some relief here. So now I'm back up to probably 75% functionality from zero, which is gigantic. And I'm still working on it. And another thing I do is I wear this when I go to sleep. It's like a wrist brace. And what that does is if I roll on my hand or roll over or something when I'm asleep and not paying attention, I'm not putting strain here where it's still a little bit weak. That's all I got for you for now.